Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the OHA Annual Information Reporting session. I'm Kelly Taylor. I am your OHA Secretary, and I welcome you today to our little how-to video. So I'm hoping you'll get some value out of this, and we'll be able to utilize this in your annual information reporting for your society. I'm going to share my screen. Just give me a moment here. So as I said, this is our 2023 OHA Annual Information Reporting session, and we're going to get right into our topics. So topics to be discussed tonight are our access requests and password resets to Garden Ontario Secure Form section, our 2023 OHA Annual Information Reporting, how to save an annual information report to complete at a later date, and tips and tricks for society and club support. So for those of you who have never been on our OHA website, it is www.gardenontario.org. In the upper left corner, you're going to see our logo, and above that, you're going to see our login section. So you're going to click that. If you have never been on our site before, you will need to have an account set up for you. If you have been here before, you're going to see in this please log in here section, you're going to put your username and your password, which will allow you to get into the links for the annual information report. If you have never been here before and you're new to the board or new to as a secretary or president, for example, you're going to need to come here to the need to register, click here. That will allow you to go and get yourself a login and password. So if you need to change your password, you're going to enter your email address and click Get New Password, which is right here. So if you need to reset your password, that is quite doable, and it's all within that box. For new users, you're going to have your basic information, so your email. So we ask for each individual to use their own email versus everybody using one. Your district number, society name, society secure form access. So what is it that you're doing? And then you'll click submit. Now we would ask for you to give 2 to 4 days turnaround time for our website coordinator to approve all of these new accounts. So we ask for your patience as he's new to this whole process this year. So our deadline for submission is February 1st. That hasn't changed. That's the same annual information reporting date for the OHA as well as for OMAFRA. It's consistent with both. That way you can get both done in the same afternoon or same evening and be done. So what we ask for includes a summary of accomplishment, membership, volunteer hours for the year. I will tell you up front, we have removed all of the COVID related questions this year. We took those off and we have not added any new questions for you. So things to note when entering your contact information. We want to remind you that we need you to use a contact email that you want to be contacted at. I have received complaints from people that had emails utilized in the form that they didn't wish to be contacted at. So for example, maybe a work email address. Contact information is requested yearly. So if you've updated something in the 2023 year with the secretary, please remind whoever's inputting this for you that we need that updated information in the report for use in 2024. Though the information you have provided or updates do not carry forward. And each officer identified on the form must provide their individual contact information. So if we're looking for the secretary, the treasurer, and the president, for example, we would need information for all three of them. Using the same PO box and phone number for everyone will not be accepted, and we will be reaching out to you to have that corrected. So saving an annual information report to complete later is a very important step. So when you get down to the bottom of your form, if you are not certain that you have filled something out or you need to go in and check some information, you can do save and continue later. So you must add your email address, as you will not be able to find it in a search, and OHA cannot access it. So this here will come up and you need to put your email address in, and that's very important. This is the email that you will receive. This is one that I received last year. Please make sure you check your spam and your junk and your promotions folder just in case it went in there. So when you get this email in your inbox, you'll see the link here, and that's the link that will take you back to your form, okay? And this link will expire after 30 days. So it is a limited time for you to get that information and get the form completed, okay? So now we're going to go over to our Garden Ontario website. I'm just going to stop the video screen here, stop sharing, and I'm going to go to our website. And I'm going to share again. So this is the Garden Ontario website. I'm already logged in, so that happens up here in this top left corner is where you would click and you would put your login and password. And so we're just going to walk through our OHA Society Annual Report for 2023. Before we go any further, I'll just let you know the latest guide and support here will be here in the next couple of days. And that is like a little how-to document. So you can print that out and you can either handwrite it in or use it as a guide for the information that you'll require to complete the report. So we'll go into the form. So they're done in sections. So this first section is our society identification. So we'll just walk through this very quickly. So we're going to say we're from District 1. So we have our legal society name. So we're going to call it the Banana Horticultural Society. So if you have a different name that your society goes by, so let's say it's the Banana Gardeners, you'll put that in there. That way we are able to track you and we know who you are for both. So your founding year, so let's say it's 1984, your floralendrum, let's say it's the dandelion. Do we have any scholarships? We're going to say yes. And do we have a youth program? Again, we're going to say yes. So we want to go to next. So now it takes us to the mailing address and contact information. So our mailing address, I'm just going to put my home address in and just make sure your fields are correct. So we need to take that out. London, Ontario, there's our postal code. Main Society email, I'm just going to use my OHA email. So subscribing to gardening related information by email. So periodically the OHA gathers information that we provide out that is not OHA specific. So for example, maybe it is a discount code for plant seed items, for example. So previously it was like WH Parent. So let's say that is what we're talking about, those types of things where we are sharing information that is not OHA specific. This is where we need to get that information from you. So then we need a phone number. We don't have a fax. So please list the URL if different from Garden Ontario. So some societies have their own website address. So this is where you would put that in there. Trillium email subscription. So the Trillium is no longer going to be offered in a hard copy format. So we would ask for your email address so we know how to get it to you. Does your society govern by president, vice president, second vice president structure, or by committee? So historically, most societies have operated by the president, vice president, etc. We do have some societies who have struggled to fill those positions, and they have decided that they are going to govern by committee as a stopgap measure or as a longer term measure in order to ensure the success and the longevity of their society. So this is where we need you to tell us who is doing what position. So if you say you are governed by committee, we will need contact information for the key 1 or 2 people that we will need to reach out to in relation to OHA communications. So the committee main contact, I'm going to say it's myself. I'm going to have my email address in here. Move that down there. That's by committee. Here we go. President's email. So here is our phone number. Ontario. So some of these fields will auto-populate if you have been in the form previously. Do you have a co-president? I would say no, but if you're splitting the role, this is where you would say yes, and then the new fields would open. Do you have a secretary treasurer, or are they separate positions? If you have a secretary treasurer that does both, this is where you would say. So this is where I would say that my secretary's name is Jim Smith, and it's jim.smith@gmail.com, and it's 519-871-4222. Address 1234 Jones Street. No second line, London, Ontario, and 5W5C8. So who's our treasurer? We're going to say it's Sally Hanson. Treasurer's email, sally.hanson@gmail.com. Treasurer's phone. Treasurer's mailing address, 1245. And then city, London, Ontario, and 5W. J4. So then we're going to go to next. So if you haven't filled something out correctly, or you have left a space where it wasn't required in your postal code, for example, it will come up with an error message at the top, notifying you that you have an error that you need to correct. So here under planned activities, when are society meeting? So we're going to say it's the third Thursday. Are your regular meetings held at the same location? Yeah, so this is where you would put the location of your facility that you hold your monthly membership meetings at, okay? So membership fees. So some societies have a different membership fee structure than others. And so this is where we would ask you to tell us what your fee structure is. So we're going to say it's $15 a year for membership. Anniversary, any other special event. So this is where you have the chance to a maximum of 1,000 characters to tell us about something, whether you had maybe a special anniversary or another special event that occurred in the year. And so we're just going to, put some in here, and we're going to say next. So now we are in our annual information report section under as of December 31st. So we're talking about our year end. So when did our fiscal year end? So we're going to say that our fiscal year ended on October 31st. It is always beneficial at the society level to have your year end at the end of October, the end of November. That gives the society lots of time to get their books audited, and then time for them to have their AGM before the February 1st deadline. So we're going to say our fiscal year end was October 31st, date of our most recent AGM. We're going to say it was the 16th of November. So our adult membership number, so please enter the adult membership for the 2023 year. This membership number should match what is submitted to OMAFRA. The adult membership number must include life and new members reported below for statistical purposes. So we're going to say we had 150 members. We're going to break out and tell you that out of those 150, we had 5 life members. And out of that 150, 25 were new. So what events did we hold this year? Well, we did a bus tour, we did some community work, we did a plant sale, and we did a garden tour. So for fundraisers, did we do anything special? So did you do a special plant, or aprons or cups, or did you do something that you want to share with us? So again, you have 1,000 characters that you can tell us. So we want you to do a highlight section up to 550 characters. So this is summarizing last year's outstanding and noteworthy events, accomplishments in sentence form. Very important to be in sentence form, because this is what will go in the annual report of the OHA. Okay, so this is what will carry over. So then we are going to just add our summary in here. We're going to go to next. So this is where we checked off earlier that we did a scholarship. So we're going to say that we did one at Fanshawe College here in London. We did one at a value of $500. Do you plan to give the same or different scholarship this year? We're going to say yes. And go on. This helps us to understand what kind of impact you're having on your community and the youth of your communities. So our youth program report, so send OHA communication by. So this is an important one, so our youth leaders know how to reach out to you. So do you want information by email, mail, or would you prefer not to receive it? Subscribe to the youth newsletter. So again, I'm going to say yes, I am the youth leader at my society. So our youth membership is, we're going to say it's $1. Youth club fees, sorry, youth membership number is 25. Youth club fee is $1. So a lot of societies do not charge their youth anything, but the society has to do it as kind of like an in and out transaction where they pay the dollar fee to make sure all the children are recognized as a member of the society. So who is our youth leader? So we're going to say it's my name. So the police check number, police checks must be done on a yearly basis. So we just want your number. So we're just going to say this is our number. And then what was the date of your police check? So we're going to say it was November 1, 2023. The OHA does offer grants to youth leaders if they would like to be reimbursed for the cost of their police check. That varying communities and jurisdictions do charge different rates. So there is a grant on the OHA website that you can submit for to get reimbursed for at least part, if not all, of your police check fee, depending on how much you spent. So our youth club report, again, this is up to a max. Youth club comments, is there any ideas or suggestions you might want to share with other society youth clubs? So this is where you'd have a chance to kind of add that, and that's a max 1,000 characters. It's about sharing. So now we get into our volunteer hours. So hours spent working at local fairs, community outreach, plant sales, for example, Communities in Bloom, Canada Bloom, CNE, and other media. So this is where you would put, this is for your entire society. So we're going to say we spent 150 hours. Section 2 is about executive board and monthly meetings. So this is hours spent at executive and board meeting times, number of members attending. So this is where you would add in your hours for all your executive and board meetings, executive board and committee planning. So record hours spent on administration and planning of events and meetings. So this is where you would say your number of hours, flower shows and garden tours, record planning and prep time. Do not include time attending or viewing gardens by members. So it's about the planning. So we're going to say 25 hours. Administration of planning, planting, and maintenance. So this is around community gardening, conservation and environmental projects and partnerships. So we're going to say we did 350 hours this year. Special events, workshops, seminar courses, the district AGM, or the OHA convention hosting. So if you were District 2, for example, in 2023, you would have a substantial number of hours in here. So if you were planning, volunteering, and or representing a society as a delegate, so if you attended the OHA convention in person, this is where you would have the ability to add hours against this submission here. So we're going to say we had, I think let's say 75. Yearbook, newsletter, website. So how much time did you spend planning the yearbook, newsletter, developing and maintaining websites and social media? So we're going to say 75 hours. Youth activities, time spent working with youth in schools, youth groups, and within society. So this is an important one. If you are a youth club, we want to hear how many hours you spent with them. So we're going to say 125. Breakdown of hours spent on other activities not covered. So for maybe fundraising, if you have work at the library. So we're going to say 15 here. So then it calculates automatically. So total hours reported is here. And so is the report complete? I'm going to say yes, and I'm going to submit. So it's just finalizing the submission. So I get a thank you notification. Thank you for submitting your annual report. You should receive an email copy in a few minutes. So you do have the ability to download the PDF. So I would highly recommend doing that before you exit this screen. So if you open up the screen, you will see here your annual information report. So this would be the copy that you would save in your records. Okay, or you could share this with your district director if you wanted them to have this information up front. So I'm just going to go over to this annual information tips and tricks document. This will be uploaded on the website and will be accessible to all individuals who are going to be completing this information. So it kind of walks you through the information that you need to consider and information you need to pull together, and then it will actually allow you the ability to print this out so you can just start writing your information in directly. So when you actually go to the website, it is easy for you to enter that very efficiently. So this how-to document is quite handy and kind of walks each society through the information that they will require to complete this work. So as you can see, you just scroll through, it's exactly what we just entered online, and then you have that kind of as your how-to document. So I'm just going to go back to the website or back to the presentation. So we're going to just cover some tips and tricks. So annual information report live demonstration. So we just completed that. So here's some tips and tricks. So consult the annual information report guidebook on the OHA website and use your guide for collecting information prior to starting the report. When you use the save and continue function, you must use the link that arrives in the email to get back to your partially completed report. Really important to save that. If you don't see your entries after entering a save and continue link, put your cursor into the fields to see if you previously entered data repopulates the form. So as you could see on my example, I've been in these forms many, many times, and so it automatically brings up my personal information for me to enter. If you do a save and continue your work and do not find the email with the link in your inbox, please check your junk or spam folders and see if it landed in there and move it to your inbox. If you make an error on your submitted report, this is an important one to know, no worries. You can notify myself or your district director, as we all have access to your reports, and one of us can make those edits on the society's report for you. So if you're concerned about not having anyone handy that can enter this information, please consider asking someone to help. So this could be another society president or your district director, one of your team members, like the communications person for your society club, who are normally the person who sends out e-newsletters or Zoom links, for example. Another resource for help is your local computer tech or helper. Rely on them to increase your computer operations knowledge. Sometimes we have friends that we can reach out to who are very handy and wouldn't mind helping us. And it's important for you to reach out to someone you trust locally that can help you with navigating the computer, not only for this report, but for the many things you might do on the computer in the future. Very important to keep your passwords safe. Take a break, look at it with fresh eyes the next day or at another time when you can work at it again. Sometimes just stepping away is very helpful. Patience is always very much appreciated. And as I said, our website coordinator is new at it this year. And so we would ask for patience as we get him accustomed to how to process all these requests, okay? So I would just like to thank you all for coming tonight. As I said, I am Kelly Taylor, the OHA Secretary. My email is ohasecretary@gmail.com. If you would like to reach out to me or you have any questions that you are not sure of related to the reporting, you can always reach out to me directly, or you can connect with your district director, as they are there as a support for you as well. So I would just like to thank you for your time being with us tonight, and let you know that we are here as the OHA to support you. If you have questions or concerns, we welcome you to bring those forward to us, okay? Thank you very much and have a great night.